Hey everybody, Asher here and welcome back to Starsector, where today we're kicking off a brand new modded run, this one dubbed a Nuzlocke style Starsector. If you're familiar with what that means, think of it as Self-Found Plus. We're going to be going over the rules and all that in just a minute, but let's go ahead and hit the new game button. Give us a chance to talk about and introduce our new captain for this series, and I gotta go and scroll down to the picture because I can't just pre-select it. Here we go. This is Hannah Kesslier. Let me just type that correctly, or that will be really awkward. And we're gonna hit the continue button here. So, greetings Starfare. We will click through this just as is tradition. If you really want to see something, you're always welcome to pause and read. But the actual rules here for this series is going to be pretty, I don't want to say open. We're going to be skipping the story, and that is going to give us the Janus device early. I am going to be doing the starting demods at moderate and the random start location at random or enable, but we're going to see that that may not necessarily have any effect here. We are not randomly generating the core worlds this time because, as we learned, that doesn't play nicely with some mods, as if on cue there's a Hiver ship. The Hivers were not nearly a threat last time. Now we have all of these factions that we can possibly join. You can see from the mod list that I'll be putting here that we have a lot of factions in play. But we're going to be doing a custom start. And that custom start is actually, the Haunted. Let me go back so we can actually read that real quick. Good and evil are loose concepts in this decaying world with dead gates. You did whatever it took to rise to your height of power, leaving a trail of broken souls, oaths of vengeance, and an unholy head count. Our story is going to be slightly different with that, but the idea is that we have great potential and a pathetic band of pirate loyalists, or at least loyalists, and a persistent malevolent stalker looking to put you down for good. Should be fun, exciting. This is our starting fleet. We have a Manicore, a Hound, and a Mud Skipper. Very exciting. So here is our captain here. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the start game button just so we can generate the world. But while that world is generating, I do want to read a little bit about the rules of the run. And before we get to those rules, here's a mod list for the series. I also put this in every description for every video. I do want to say as well, I get asked this all the time. No, I cannot package all these mods together for you and distribute them. I don't have permission. But all of these were found on the Fractal Softworks forums. They shouldn't be too difficult to chase down. As for the rules of the run, you can see on the left we have our Nuzlocke's rules, and on the right we have some specific run limitations. Now, if you're familiar with Nuzlocke style Pokemon or anything else, and honestly that's something I had to be introduced to through the Discord, we're not doing pure Nuzlocke because it doesn't entirely mesh with Starsector style. But we do have key rule number 1, ships and weapons must only come from salvage, discovery, or an event. So we can't go buying what we need, we have to find it. Rule number 2, only one ship may be selected per system. And each quadrant of hyperspace counts as a system. That's going to be very interesting, but if you noticed on the mod list, we are running adjusted sector, and the map is going to look a little bit different than you might expect. So that one ship per system may not be as restrictive as you might think. Number 3, story points may not be used to recover ships lost in combat. So if I can recover it through normal means, that's fine, but if it's so damaged that I need a story point, it's gone. This is to try to hold on to the permadeath aspect of Nuzlocke while also understanding that this is Starsector, so it's a little bit of a different game. By the way, I will take some feedback from you all if you all want permadeath for officers or not. So leave that in the comments. Number 4, supplies, fuel, commodities, crew, and officers may be bought and sold as normal. We're going to call this the avoid tediousness rule. I just want to be able to play Starsector and have some fun with it. I don't want it to be so obtuse that y'all are watching me having to run and do the basic things all the time, like finding supplies. So we're going to try to get to the fun and stay with that. Speaking of fun, we do have some limitations on the right. The fleet restrictions, I put it in a spreadsheet this time, so hopefully it's very readable. As you can see, when we start the game, we're starting with the destroyer and a few frigates, and that's how it's going to be at the beginning. Eventually we will be able to level up with some super capitals, and if you saw the mod list, you know that the super capitals in play this time around are much bigger than anything I've had in a series before. Also, we are doing the custom start for the Haunted from Secrets of the Frontier, which is an excellent mod anyway. But I am doing one modification. It does involve console commands. It's going to be the very first thing I do when we load into the game. Skill restrictions. This is why I didn't do anything with the skill tree yet, just because I wanted to go over this first. At the start of the game, we can only use the combat skill tree. At level 5, the leadership skill tree unlocks, and so on and so forth. The asterisk next to the technology skill tree is because one thing is banned for this run, and that is transverse jumping. I am not allowed to use transverse jumping. However, with the story skip, we do have the Janus device. That will be allowed. Finally, we have the industry tree that'll be unlocked later. There's no restrictions for me respeccing later on or banking points if I really wanted to, as we have cats fighting in the background now because they hear me talking and that's what they're going to do. Just the way it is. Colony restrictions are also going to be very important. We have one colony that's allowed total. We can't buy storage from anywhere else, although if a place will let us store stuff naturally, we can use that. Outposts cannot be built in colonized or settled systems, and we can't build way stations until we hit level 15. So that's going to be kind of a guiding focus here. Start small and see if we can work bigger. There's our moron cats flying into the office door again. It's great. They do this for me at work, when I'm working here from home, as well as when I'm recording. Well, if the cats are going to be here for story time, that's fine, because I want to start a little bit differently here with a prologue. So, let's go ahead and just read along here. Episode 1, The Fall of the House of Kesslier. During the whole of a dull, dark, and soulless day dawdling in the winter of the standard year, the entire Persean Sector came crashing down on Hannah Kesslier. Days had passed since that final test flight, where the rush of success was instantly washed away by an overwhelming signal broadcast from the activated gate itself. Screams. Video feeds of bodies mutilated by extreme forces. Pleas. Flight plans weaving a web directly implicating her father, Roderick Kesslier. Data he thought cleverly secreted into the inscrutable space beyond the gates. Evidence that was damning. It was a side of the project that Hannah had been kept entirely unaware. However, ignorance cannot excuse the innocent and infirm sacrificed at the altar of progress, nor can it sate a sector's bloodlust. Roderick took his own life before the mob could reach him, and as such, the sins of the father must be borne by his only surviving daughter. Thus fell the great House Kesslier, its assets frozen, the entire research apparatus seized by the Gladia Academy, of course, eager to reap the benefits of ill-gotten science, and with squabbling factions tearing through its spoils. Warrants were issued for anyone entangled in this entirely too gruesome atrocity, but Hannah Kesslier would not go quietly. And here we are. Welcome to the joy system, because this whole situation brings us joy. Before we get really into the meat and potatoes of it, I do want to show you just the whole sector map here, just so you can get an idea of the context of where we are starting here. We have the joy system, we have a Persean League and independent place here, and as we zoom out a little bit, you can see that there is a lot more of the sector out there than maybe you had originally thought. Adjusted Sector is a really fun mod, and I'm looking forward to diving into this. And that said, one thing that we are going to do here as we look at our inventory real quick is I need to adjust some of this. I do have some pirate blueprints. I may cache those in, or I could just learn them. I mean, I'm not planning on building ships for a while. But we also have the Janus device here. We are going to learn that. And one of the reasons is if we look back at the map here for the system, all the way over here we have a gate. And we're going to need to learn a little bit more about these gates and explore them and hopefully make our own network. Because Adjusted Sector, you can actually add more gates, which is very exciting. The other thing here, if we look at the intel, if you may have noticed right now, Legio, you wouldn't have noticed, is friendly with us. The pirates are also friendly with us right now. That has to change. So what I'm going to do here, instead of simply resigning a pirate commission, which will make the sector a lot less dangerous, is that we're going to do console commands. I have not done this in other series here, but anytime I use console commands, we're going to be seeing it for the Captain's Log mod as well. I want to make sure that you all can see it on camera here. So adjust, one word, adjust relation pirates -60. And then adjust relation Talhan Legio Infernalis -60. And if we look here, all of a sudden, Nobody likes us, everybody hates us, and we're going to have to try to figure that out. So let's look at Reverie Fortress now, neutral to us. If we look down here, there is some things that we can buy, because right now we have 3 ships. A certain romance, I may change the name of those things later on, but for now we're here. This is actually a really nice ship. Between having the autocannon and between having the harpoons, this can dish out some damage. Also has a ballistic rangefinder, which is cute. We have the Hound, which is serviceable but fragile, and we have a Mudskipper that is not a combat ship. But they threw a Hellborn cannon on it anyway because we got what we could from the pirates. So if you remember the restrictions as well, right now we're locked into the combat tree here. And since we are flying our original ship here, we are definitely going to get ballistic mastery. And I was kind of torn between doing helmsmanship or damage control or impact mitigation. I think I'm going to do impact mitigation first just to unlock potentially heavy armor. I mean, these are all things that are good. And we do want to get most of them. But that's kind of where we're going to start here. So we're going to try to kill things that potentially we can. So if we look here, as you saw, the map is very, very big. And okay, first off, we're dealing with pirates. Let's buy this off the black market. Thank you. Less tariffs we have to pay, the better. I want to get some more crew because I know it'll cost a little bit to pay the crew. Oh my god, the fuel prices are just terrible. But we're going to have to buy here because we can't really be choosers. I can do control click to get that there. And we need a few more supplies because we are going to be exploring our little hearts out. And you know what? I don't really need this blueprint package right now, so we're going to sell it. Just cash it out for money. We do need some heavy machinery. I think 40's probably overkill, so we'll do 30 because we have to watch our cargo space here. Like if we're going to be doing some exploration, we want to actually be able to take something home with us to sell later, or if we find a ship that could work out, which is one of the things I'm going to keep an eye out for, because since we do have the Persean League right here, granted they are near a jump point. Talk about fringe jump point within Anguish. Oh, Anguish and Joy. That's a cute double star system. I guess one's getting eaten by the other potentially, and we have Suffering over here. Oh, what a happy place. Torment listening post. You guys are so goth. Anyway, I think our plan here early is going to be to go to the gate and to go to Suffering, which is the toxic world. Maybe not in that order. We are going to have to keep our transponder off, or else we are going to get attacked by the Independents or the Persean League. But if they get in an entanglement with the pirates, then maybe, just maybe, we can pick up some ships along the way. So we're going to go ahead and give that a try. But first, let's visit the bar. We have an unsanctioned bounty board. I'm going to just tell you right now that we can't do those yet. And then we have someone who's trying to get some information from me, but we don't have a story point. So that's really exciting that we got a storyteller immediately here. All right, so aliens, no, legitimate history. So right now we can't use a story point to get that from her, but that's exciting once again. Let's look here at Intel and make sure we're not missing anything. We have Alpha Site unlocked. We can technically go there at any time. We have the gate that we need to deal with. We have a much better fuel range now. So I do want to be visiting not the inhabited places. As you can see, some of these places are super inhabited. Just all the way down through the core worlds, even with these kind of extra generated stuffs here. But we got a lot of places that maybe we can kind of do a loop around. And it's funny, Legio, who I'm supposed to not like very much, apparently is very likable. This is a bounty I might actually be able to do, but we're not going to worry about bounties yet. The opening of this game is going to be a little bit more about survival. So we have some exploration stuff that we could potentially do. This one's way out there. Let's just click off all these potential contact. Oh, our potential early game contact is with the Persean Leagues and over here at the Independents, where the game's like, oh, you're friends with them, right? No, we're not. Okay. So we've been over here. Pirates aren't going to care as much if we do this, so let's just go ahead and fly over here. We have all these good bounties available. We have Suffering over here. Suffering, the toxic world. An old colony that transitioned to piracy to survive. That is a story as old as science fiction or science fact. Anything over here, it's worth my time. By the way, we do have a lot of good what's the word I'm looking for? Good items and stuff that are new from other mods here. Also, there's no restrictions on buying whole specs, but I don't really want to do that right now because I don't have a ton of money. But I think we're pretty good. By the way, just so we can have some fun here, look at what I'm missing out on. I could totally purchase some extra storage space or ships or like a wolf with 6D mods or something. We'll find what we need. But there's suffering. I meant to actually check the bar, but we've gone too far. We must now look the other way. Alright, so flying through the asteroid field, only taking a little bit of hull damage. The nice thing about our opening fleet is that we're fast. Huh. Dominator class heavy cruiser. Now, one more time here. I cannot unlock or buy storage space. Technically, Reverie Fortress, I can store this. But let's go ahead and explore. We can consider some ship recovery here. We can't use this ship for a while. But you know, that's a solid ship to have. Let's just go ahead and recover it. I'm going to mothball it. And here's the fun part about this, is that now that we've recovered a ship from our opening star system, which I just said maybe I shouldn't do this, but now what we have to do is Captain's Log Joy Ship. And if we look at the map here, this is almost like tutorializing. And we go, it's actually going to be in the intel screen here. We're going to have a little checkbox here. So we have a captain's log entry for the Joy system now. We know we got a ship here. Any other ships that may have been from combat, we can't get now, but we are going to go ahead and park this. So hey, what do you know? I already messed up the run. Hey, it's not like I got blasted out of the sky. But we can go ahead and drop this in the storage for the time being. So that's fun. I was originally like, you know what, if I find a ship early, I'm going to salvage it. It's not like we can use that for a while. We need to like find lots of different kinds of stuff. There's a hostile patrol, like hostile to me, but it's independence, so they're not going to care as much. And that's one of the nice things about independence, is that they're not going to chase me down. The Persean League might, so we're just going to keep flying. And we have a gate out here. It's going to be hilarious if this gate that's all the way out here, and that's one of the annoying things about gates, is that you can't control where they are in the system, and sometimes they are really far away, but transverse jumping is just incredibly strong. So we're going to scan the gate, and we can't actually travel to anywhere else yet, but we're going to be doing a very diligent job of making sure we can find stuff. Nothing else to loot, and I think we're done here. Unless I want to risk the biscuit and go for this system, I think it's time to just hop on into hyperspace. And we could go to Octavia. The Star Federation hates us and the Independents hate us. Aura hates us. All these guys hate us. We don't really have anything in the way of safe havens. Maybe in Groom. The pirates are kind of inconveniently located, considering we can't transverse jump in there. We'd have to go in through the middle and fly through some hostile stuff. It may be better if we're going to do a flight path here, if I could remember how to do fuel range here, to try not to go for the Abyssal Maw, but to go for the Legio system. They actually have Turon and unexplored star system, so we're actually going to go to Cladabish first. You know, I could actually try to go into a neutron star system first, but I may hold off on that just because those can get really, really hairy in a hurry. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to try this, and part of me says I already saw some nasty ships over here, so we should probably go dark in case there's a patrol going in or out. I already got one ping. By the way, this is exactly why I kept the speed up mod, is that some of the stuff is going to take a little bit of time. We're going to have to... Ooh, we have some debris. So that is a... Somebody got in a fight. It's unlikely to find much of anything. We have scavenging effectiveness of 1 for some reason. I'm going to leave it. By the way, I have 30 heavy things, right? Yeah. Okay, so here we are. Hey, why'd that jump point open? We'll never know. Jump into hyperspace. But yeah, this is what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to play it. We're gonna have to play it a little bit safer. So here's our system. We actually have a lot of places we can jump in, which is pretty nice. Can we zoom out? Not really. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of tangle through some of these systems and see if we can find anything interesting. Note that the Zon Empire is over here as well. So one of our rules is that we can only colonize one system at a time. Not one system at a time, but one system at all. Unknown fleet on a salvage expedition. They're probably neutrals, and they are, thank goodness. Because we're at the beginning of a game with Ruthless Sector enabled. You know who that means we're going to find out here in space. Oh boy. I should be very, very cautious flying through these things because the remnants are going to be all over the place. And unlike most of the last run where I could just laugh them off, or the Vic series where I just made friends with our buddy in Prism Freeport, this time we're going to have to deal with a few issues here. Oh boy. So we have these guys pursuing our fleet. Attempt to disengage. And here we go. So, like I said, we've got to be a little more careful about this. We may be able to take them on one at a time. Okay, I did accidentally just shoot missiles, so that's not a great start. We have our mud skipper that's being attacked early. And these lumens are fast. But if we can just get it to where we can get a one-on-one engagement, we may be able to take on one then the other. So here's our guns. And actually what I should be doing here is having you guys support me instead of just going straight after it. Now, the other downer with these things is that they do have a tendency sometimes to run into the corner of the map. So we got to kind of get them on the edge here. Okay, so one down. Like I said, we're not going to panic. We have 12 missiles left. And there should be one more lumen here in just a minute. And I promise I'm going to be a little more careful. We now know that yellow space place is a medium caution area. So usually what that means is that I should be able to go in there and get one item. And it's funny if I'm actually still going to be forced to retreat here. I've never actually done this where I start to retreat and then I turn around and fight. And there's actually a nice jump point. Series of jump points back there. I'm not used to that. We may as well get these beacons. Because if we can disengage, that's fine. If we can just kill both of these things, that's fine. But there's a little bit of blitheness flying through hyperspace that's going to punish me. And this is a great example of that because I'm not used to having a fleet that will speed 20 through hyperspace. And here we are. Okay. You know, we may actually just be able to run away here. Because what I thought was happening was that the other remnant ship was deploying on the side. I will take the W if we get to just run away. There we are. Look, it's our friend. Hello, friend. Remember, have our shields up this time, and we failed to do that anyway. We lost a mud skipper. Whoa, what was that? Regards from beyond. There we go. The enemy fleet is defeated. The galaxy's at peace. We got punched by somebody. Consider ship recovery. Once again, if we need a story point to recover this, we can't get it. Fortunately, we can recover it. I'm glad we brought some extra supplies. And the remnants, a little bit more hostile with us. And we have 12 of these, 7 of these, 1 of these. I will get relic components because they're expensive. I will get ship components because they're expensive, and we got a torpedo rack. Otherwise, most important thing is that we live to fight another day. So, hey, welcome to a Starsector where sometimes somebody in a jump point ends up firing a Gauss cannon at you or something. So we're going to try this jump point, and if it doesn't work, we're just going to say, you know, let's just go to the next place. But yeah, things are... hey, some of your ships are damaged. Thanks, I know. All right, intersystem jump point. Do we have the warning? You bet your ass we have the warning. Hey, your fleet supplies consumption's gone up. That's fine. I still kind of want to check that other place, but since our momentum already has us this way, and I never ever want to double back on warning system where things are already hanging out at us, we're just going to do it like this. And we have another unidentified entity, so this time we're going to go dark, try to take it a little bit slower. This is potentially a dead ship. No, it's another warning beacon. Hey, hello, Remnants. Turns out flying out in space is not so easy, and look, we have another Lumen that's looking for us. We can go into the NS star system here. And oh boy, we have an inactive gate. Is it worth it to try when we have a Remnant Nexus right here? I think the answer is no. We can always come back later, is the nice thing. But one of the things I'm looking for in a system that I can colonize, and I'm not looking to colonize anytime soon, but one thing I am going to be looking for is having a gate there. Having a Remnant Nexus available does potentially open up the possibility of doing some kind of fun, silly farming cores from Remnants, although with the Remnant Enhancement mod, it does nerf the amount of cores that get dropped here, so you're still looking for me. And you might find me too. Let's go down. There's a neutron star. I did just say I didn't want to jump into a neutron star place here. Is this a triple star system? Okay, you've given up, unless you haven't. All right. So here's the problem with this jump point. It's a neutron star, which is good. It's a whole constellation. So it's a triple star system with the neutron star in here. If I go in and get blasted by the neutron star in one direction, that's a problem. So we're going to go in not from the neutron star side. We're going to go in down here. Now, if you are playing at home, one of the most reliable ways to get into a neutron star system is to actually jump on the neutron star and then jump out where the area is pushing you. But here I'm just going to hope if we go in the fringe jump point that we're out of the blast radius, or more importantly, if it is up here, and it is up here, and there's probably a research station up here, that we are kind of far and away from anything that's projecting here. And it turns out there's a jungle planet here. So there may be some goods here, or at least a survey opportunity. So I don't know if we need to go dark right now, but so let's try moving right along just a little bit here. So we have Epsilon Morphogoros. This one may not necessarily be worth it. Oh, wait. Sensor officer frowns. Captain, there appears to be a faint signal coming from low orbit. Detailed scans. The transmission's very weak. We only picked it up as the survey ran through the cycle. So what's the signal? The transmitter must be damaged, but there's a little work. The Galadia Academy, all of those fuckers. If found, I implore you to return the data core to the Academy for a award of 18,000 credits. Now, I'm going to order the data core to be retrieved, but there is one fun detail about that, is that actually getting back to the Galadia Academy may be a little bit of a problem because everybody hates us. Obviously, I want to inspect the data on the core. I love it. It's just a lot of data. Well, recording sensor logs, detecting some kind of field strength. So here we go. We could perform a survey here. How much would it take from us to do that? We have enough people. We have enough of this stuff. It's actually not the worst place in the world, and it's only 30 supplies. So let's see if there's anything good here. Old space accelerator. Hey, that's it's actually pretty exciting. This is a very well-rounded planet. We are not going to colonize it. Oh Lord, how are we ever going to get 1,000 people to fit over here? But anyway, we do have, for our trouble, no items, but a handy-dandy $30,000 Class 5 survey data, and unlike what I thought about some of this stuff before, I don't think anybody's going to colonize that if I sell the survey data. I don't see too much else here, and I kind of want to go investigate the neutron star, and I kind of don't because that's how far its reach is. So we're going to handle that another day. Yeah, so let's go this way. As long as I guess that star stays on the opposite side of the system from where neutron star is, everything should be fine. Okay, nothing else really going on here, and we don't have a gate to pop, so screw that. Let's go. Jump. Omicron jump point. And look, just like that, the Kingdom of Terror has declared war with somebody. Some things never change. Okay, we don't want to investigate the Zon Empire. We could go to Gamma Blue Well. Tuhal's kind of over here. I'm only looking because if we are going to make it worth our while, I'd like to have more than 2 more systems to go to. So let's go to... let's start picking at this constellation a little bit. Let's go to Tahil and see if we can kind of go 1, 2, 3, 4... or 1, 2, 3, depending on how things go. Because the nice thing about Exploration Sector, which is one of my favorite ways to play the game, is that you really have a lot of incentive to just kind of try to find the stuff you can, and you can sometimes pick up more fuel. Also, one of the mods that I did go ahead and reinstall here, I don't know if I have it. Yeah, siphon fuel. Your fuel, if we're within a nebula, we can actually grab some more fuel. Once again, I'm trying to do things that kind of reward exploration. I don't want the challenge to be because I'm stuck somewhere, but hey, look, it is yet another warning beacon, and we have another unidentified entity over here. So everything that's a yellow star system is just scary as hell. That's cool. I want to see what this ship is, though, because it could be something good to pick up. It's a Rock P-class battle cruiser. Well, that is an interesting thing to find floating around out here. And hyperspace quadrant is different from a star system. So we could potentially pick up this, or it's going to take a story point and we can't pick it up. So what's this? It's a 31 deployment point actual battle cruiser. Honestly, pretty good. Consider ship recovery. We can actually recover it. It's just kind of floating around right now. It's a little risky to do this, but I'm going to recover it. And once again, we're going to have to tow this, so mothball away. This is going to slow down our flight a little bit, I think. Although pirate ships typically aren't super slow, but let's go ahead and once again do the captain's log here. Captain's log, rock hyperspace. And if we look out here, we're not trying to add an agent. Captain's log, there should be a whole tab for it somewhere, hopefully. Oh boy, there we go. So right out here, captain's log, captain's log. So that'll be easy to keep track of. All right, let's see what's in the fringe jump point. If nothing else, we can potentially sell this. Yes, we know. Well, it doesn't even have. It just has a lot of some pylums I'm not a fan of. I mean, they're long-range missiles. Technically, they're missiles, but they don't hit very well. They don't hit very hard. I do like that speed. This actually looks like a really good ship that I will not be able to use for a very long time. I want to see what's in the fringe jump point. We've flown all the way out here. I at least want to see what's available. And see, here's the problem, is that we grabbed it, and we don't have the fuel to keep moving it. So, that's a bit of a bummer. But I guess something worth considering here. So here's what we're going to do. And this is just kind of a little bit of my greed working the wrong direction here. Because when it's mothballed, apparently we still are using the fuel to drag it around, right? Yeah, pretty sure we're just going to have to scuttle this. But before we do, you know, we may as well strip the thing so we can have a few more weapons. It's a good ship. We'll have to look out for rocks in the future, but I mean, our run we don't have all the nebulas necessary, We have some nebulas, but we don't have enough just to drag it back to where we can actually store it. So, scuttle away. We do get fuel supplies and heavy machinery. So that's fun. Okay, so we've wasted that sector. I love these rules. It's not how I'm used to playing. I'm out of my comfort zone, which is part of the excitement here. So once again, this is a yellow caution space. I don't see anything right away that I want to look at. Ooh! Oh boy! We have an Agni Shoal. So not only is the Agni even one of our factions here. It's not one of our default factions. So it's not even that we have remnants out here. We've got something worse. Okay. Should have just given the rock to them and said, please don't hurt me. Let's go to the brown dwarf, I guess. We just want to make sure that we have enough room to get back to, I guess, Turin. But yeah, we can just leave that sector. We can just leave that place alone. It's a little bit dangerous. Okay, here's a brown dwarf that probably has absolutely nothing, which is all the more reason to check it. Hey, it's got a hostile fleet, so we're not going to check it. Okay. And you know, it's going to be interesting. I already know what some of the comments are going to be here of just wondering, like, it breaks my heart that you had to get rid of the rock. How could you do that to your run? And here's going to be like a little fuel ship down here that I'd actually really want. No, it's a cruiser. And we're in the same territory, so somebody's been getting fought here. And we can attempt to open the pod, and inside that pod is 28 crew that I don't know if we have seating for. We can't actually recover this ship because we don't actually have a story point, which is fine because I was just wanting to salvage it. All right, that's a lot of salvage. I mean, the alternative would have been to recover it and actually hand off some of the pieces for it. I do actually need that heavy machinery. Do I really dump the supplies? I'm going to eat the supplies in a few anyway. So we need storage, and we need to sell some of our shit. All right. And what weapons did we get, by the way? Point defense laser, autocannon. You know, this is worth doing a quick check to see. Do we have any space stations in the core worlds that I can potentially go to? I don't even know if those necessarily show up over here, but you see we have a bunch of unexplored core world systems too, which is fun. Yeah, I'll have to check the old-fashioned way, which is that there's almost always money in the banana stand. Like, yeah, there's next to the Ludic Path, we have an abandoned station over here. I can store stuff there. That is allowed. So that's all. So Kamari could be a place to try to get to. We just kind of have to make our way through there. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh damn! Why are you pursuing my fleet? So look at this. Remember when I said we got to watch out for exploration in hyperspace? This is why. Also, we want to travel light. They're super fucking fast. Maybe new plans to just go down here and then we can go out this way. Yeah, I guess we just go for this red dwarf. And I should be able to e-burn away from these guys right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully not e-burning in the process into another terrible fleet. Yeah, welcome to early game Starsector, Ruthless Sector, one of my favorite mods because it does this shit. It always keeps you on your toes. So here's this constellation in the Ceres Nebula. We can get some fuel here. I wonder if this is another remnant star. Hey, we got friends down here. Now, one of the issues is that this inner system jump point may also be dangerous. Yes. So we are not going to mess for now. There is a possibility that I jump in and jump out. But I'm kind of... Discretion is the better part of survival, and I've already got some stuff to sell. So let's just go the White Dwarf, and you know, maybe we go see if Tehran's the way to go. We can always make our way back up to Joy, wherever it is, and try to drop off some stuff there. Because unfortunately, if we look at our income situation, we are losing a little bit per month with Reverie Fortress storing our ship. So this is not our primary means of making money, though. So let's go here, and then we'll go visit Legio. And it should be exciting, or we're about to die. Either way, we're going to have a good time. There is a slipstream down there that we can take. Hey, red warning beacon. Something tells me that somebody in the adjusted sector settings really cranked up the amount of remnants available, and that would be me. So what are we doing in a red sector? We're just popping in to see what's available. We do have an inactive gate here, which is important info to have. We do have a tundra world, which could be a very good tundra world, and we have remnants all over the place. So we're going to escape to hyperspace and have a good time. All right. If everything's a remnant system, are they really remnants anymore? This one is apparently not so bad. Oh, except that it's... Everybody's occupying all these systems. So we're going to have to come up with another way to kind of make some of this exploration work for us. We are starting to run a little low on fuel, though. So I could do the nebula thing. I kind of want to see if I can do the nebula thing in hyperspace. I don't remember. Kind of don't want to do it in a place where I can get blasted, though. So this does not count as nebula. It's hyperspace. Good to know. Let's go visit our buddies at the Abyssal Mall. All right, we're just flying, and fortunately, we made it. Okay, we didn't entirely make it, but we're almost there. Now, we do have one more place that we can go to, technically two that are unexplored. Let's go to Turin, and then I can try to drop into Lucifron. I should be able to do that. And look, it's another yellow warning beacon system. This seems oddly familiar. Okay, well. We just assume that all systems are bad here. Now here's the Rubicon star system. One thing you're going to see with the way the world generated is that sometimes things get really crowded. But these guys are neutral to us, so we should be able to just make it in the fringe jump point and go. I don't know if there's a gate here, but we are absolutely going to need to have our beacon on for this, so let's do that. Yes, I know our fleet's running low on fuel. That's why we're here. And see, they're guarding the watchtower. So they don't they don't want to kill us. They're just like, you know, maybe your dear old dad shouldn't have been so stupid. It's like if you throw something into a space trash can somewhere, you gotta assume that someone's gonna dig through the trash at some point and throw it back in your face. That's just the way of the world. It's not that nobody else does unethical shit. It's just that sometimes you've gotta try to watch your efficacy here. Falcon Cruiser. I think we're just going to strip this, but let's look and see if there's an officer on it. Okay. I'm going to try to play a little bit smarter here because other factions do love visiting the system. We may be able to get a really good ship later. Like right now, we got some debris we can go to. This is a great place to like farm other shit. Let other people be the idiots that actually try to take on these guys. Like if we're here, look, they have beautiful, sparkly things. But we're here. We're still alive. Wow. I didn't even install the Syndrian Dictat mod thing, and these fuel prices are just atrocious. Okay, well, we're gonna sell this to Legio because that's exciting. We're not even gonna sell it on the black market. We're gonna have just a fire sale, sell all of our things. We're gonna hold on to the weapons for now because I may need those a little bit later. Okay, on supplies. I gotta see if I can find another ship. Can we actually do some solid trading with somebody here? Ugh. The problem is actually getting into some of these places and making sure that we can actually make a trade. Let's check the A2 system. Cibola and the Persian League. That's in tile, so that's probably going to be completely unsafe. I love that the hivers are like, look, come to us. We have these things for sale. It's not a good idea. But we're here, and we do have this stuff. And we're going to check and see what other goodies we can get. But first, let's take a look at the dockside bar here. Rakish woman who wants me to explore all the way up here. Deliver this item. That's 72,000 credits to go to the edge of space. That's a good amount of money. Except that I can't guarantee that I can get there yet. So we're not gonna do that necessarily yet. Strike up a conversation. We're not going to buy Reuters security codes. Those aren't worth really anything worthwhile. All right, sorry about the pause in the Lucifron screen here. But right now, there's not really too much to do at the bar here. We're not going to do our military options. We're just going to let these guys kind of fight it out. We're going to visit the other stations here as well, just to see if we can potentially get some doable contracts. Didn't mean to do that. We are... Hey, standing down. I was like, it's always terrifying when you have a Legio fleet flying at you at the beginning of the game. But we're friends. You guys are standing down anyway. So, what can we get from salvage here? Ooh, a lot of stuff that we can't actually hold all of it. But can we get cute here? I think we can. So if we trade real quick, we can sell our excess fuel for some money. And if we get our cargo pods out, and go back here, as long as we can do it between the ticks on the day, and as long as we're not doing a bunch of black market trading, this is probably fine. Okay, didn't mean to sell all of our supplies. Didn't mean to necessarily sell that many supplies either. Okay, I'm a little too excited. I gotta remember how to play this game here. So let's keep 100 supplies. All right, so we're getting some pocket change right now, but we're gonna be able to flip it into something eventually, even if it's not buying a ship. As you can already see, there's some other events and stuff that I can potentially play into. Do we have more than one debris field right here? Looks like it's just the one. Let's cut up a Falcon into its component parts. As we have more shit over here. Like I said, Legio could have some good business for us. We can't be choosers in who isn't trying to shoot us right now. So we're gonna salvage the Falcon. That's a little terrifying. But let's get back up to Lucifron real quick. Hopefully before we get blasted with supply costs. Hopefully. All right, and this is part of why I was saying let's keep trading kind of on the neutral here. We got a few more weapons too, which is good. And we got some supplies that we can continue to work with. Okay, let's see what you guys got over here. By the way, in case you don't know what the deal is, with Legio, their defenses are astronomical. Like you don't fight them unless you really mean it. Look at all those alpha cores. This is supposed to be a final boss faction. For now, we're just we're not going to really do much here. Okay, there's a scarred spacer that I'm not going to pay for his account because we're not doing that right now. Captain at a private table. Now, we could buy this. This is an event, but it does count as our ship from the system. And honestly, we don't need mining barge as cute as it is. So we're going to decline. Well, I can't afford it anyway. Game table and see if someone needs another player. So we're going to roll a dice. You get 1 XP if you're successful. It takes 200 XP to reach level 2. Alright, so you're level 1 Green Warlord. You have Strength, Dexterity, Intelligence, 3 Charisma. Start out with 9 HP. Examine your character sheet. Here we go. Let's start playing. So, the hamlet of Hereford spreads out before you. In the distance, the dungeon of Nancy looms menacingly. Honestly, there isn't much to do here. Venture into the dungeon. Alright, okay. Venture into the dungeon. You fill your lantern with oil. You have 1 flask of oil left. You enter the passage. The light of day filters into the dungeon through the opening in the wall, beckoning you back into the world. I can flip the table and walk out. This might kill your character. Oh, that's fun. Let's venture deeper into the dungeon. You spot a needle trap and carefully edge your way around it. You can feel a cool breeze. Venture deeper into the dungeon. Alright, a rat man lies here. Hey, who knew we were playing Dungeons and Dragons today? We have good charisma. He's just hit me. Throw a flask of oil. Let's flee. And run for your life. Make your way back to the entrance. A friendly goblin contemplates here. Let's talk. And the friendly goblin seems to be ignoring me. Well, let's flee the friendly goblin. And we're going to leave the dungeon. And we're going to stop playing for now. But that's very different. We're going to save it for later. Not what I expected from Legio at all. Alright. So let's see what's over here. Because right now our fuel... We can totally look at some of the stuff over here. And we've got some in-system stuff. One of the things we're going to have to look out for is how hostile is everything. This is an eagle. It's about to be a salvaged eagle. There we go. I can't actually carry all this salvage, which is a little bit of a problem. Well, we're going to do it anyway, because if it's only some supplies per day, we're going to civilization next. So, fun times. Our fleet is a little bit slower because we're too fat. That is just a relay. But yeah, look at all this. It's like, hey, analyze a research station. Let's take a look at some of our new contracts here. Ugh, exploration. I always have trouble finding that. So we have something up here. That's not it. Research station is on the right-hand side. We have 120 days to do this. And then survey a lifeless world. That's stupidly far away. The research station's in a neutron star. I am not going to take it because it's in the wrong neighborhood, but I do appreciate that it's there because that is info for us to use. So let's trade first. Sell these, sell these. Sell the fuel. We probably would be fine on 39 of these, so there we go. It's just a little bit of money every time. Okay. So we're just bar hopping at this point. Tattooed roughs. We're gonna just have a drink with them, I think, so that's fine. Alright, so our misadventure with the Legio people resulted in a riveting game of dungeons, and more dungeons. And not as much else. But we are going to be able to just fly out back here. Fortunately, this is safe space, and I want to see if there is a place we can go that is not occupied by the Remnants. That'd be nice. Like, we'll try Urang here. And we're kind of getting close to time anyway. Well, I don't mean that as like time to leave, but we do have a little bit of cash. We are paying some storage fees right now. We're not making a bunch of money. Survey an arid and lifeless world. If you would just put us in the correct direction. But I also One of the things I need to do is to just try to find a merchant fleet that's been shot out of the sky by somebody and get some more fuel capacity. That would be really nice right now, but I guess we're just gonna pop out here, turn off our beacon because we're now outside. We have path watchers. I could probably take these fights, to be honest. I could definitely take that fight. And you guys are about to fight each other. Really? Okay. So we have oh no, we have oh no's. Like, I want to check oh no's first, because that seems like a fun place to check. So our original base of operations is in fact going to be down here. But this is part of what I'm talking about. We're going to have to start watching out. I did have to work with the adjusted sector a little bit just to make sure that we don't have systems stacking on top of each other and jump points going into the wrong place. So we're going to have to really watch it. Okay, this place, not occupied by Remnants. It is occupied, however, by Reuters. Interesting. They are pursuing my fleet. We are going to need to get out of here ASAP. And I don't know if I will be able to. Okay. We lived! They may chase us out of here, though. Alright, so Oh No's, it turns out, is one of those places that the Reuters have just jumped on. And since the Reuters hate us, we're kind of stuck. There's our first Auroran sighting. They also hate us. It's a lonely, lonely world out in space. Let's see if Urag's going to be any more beneficial for us here. It's kind of like, whoops, I went in the wrong door. I thought this was the men's room. Mi scusi. I kind of want to fight you guys because I know I can beat you, but we're not going to. There's our Legio, who's looking for that one Reuter prospector. We've got a red warning beacon. Oh my lord. I love this. This is so terrible. What have I done? What have I done to this save? And I'm pretty sure this fringe jump point's going to be occupied. Ooh, it's not occupied. So we can see if there's potentially anything really good here. I could risk the biscuit right now. There is a gate here. There's debris everywhere. Let's see if my folly is actually follious here. Okay, significant worries. We lost 3 heavy machinery. So nothing too exciting. I kind of want to poke that gate if I can. We've got ship recovery available. We've got a kite. We've got a mud skipper. We've got a kite. Let me tell you what's nice about a mud skipper is that it gives us more fuel capacity and cargo capacity. We are going to recover one. Like, these 2 combat ships are not worth their weight in anything, but getting anything else here is going to be awesome. And we're just going to leave that there. So look at that. We risked something and we were rewarded. So let's go ahead and just do a quick captain's log here of captain's log. We're just going to call this Red Mud Skipper because this is a red system. All right, cool. So I'm going to try to poke that gate real quick. I know there may be something better over in the gate. There's always, that's the fun part about the Nuzlocke style stuff. Now, in Pokemon, apparently you are locked into the first Pokemon that you encounter. The reason that I kind of changed the rules here for picking from one ship per system is that so many things are spread out, and sometimes you may want to come back later and get something that gives you a chance to improve here. If we travel through the gate right now, we do have our first trip to Joy. Wow. Okay, so this takes not a lot of fuel. This means that we do have a bridge for dropping off back over here. Or we can continue exploring the other way. And I think I'm kind of inclined to do that right now. But once again, we have greatly expanded our ability to explore. We have a ping up here that I'm not going to touch. My only goal right now is to get the fuck out before I'm detected. Because this is a terrible, terrible place to be. But go figure, it's like sometimes if you can just find that one star system that it may have terrible danger. There is another sensor contact up here. I am going to leave that for another day because that was not there before. We definitely would have found it. I'm not even going to ping on my way out. I kind of want to. But yeah, we'll leave that debris field for another day. And here we are. I told you before, I don't like saving in hyperspace because I've always had stability issues with it. So we're going to pop into one more system, hopefully. Let's try going to this brown dwarf and see if we can call it a... tuck ourselves in and call it a survival night. Or what a glorious night to be chased down by everybody. So inner system jump point. Here we go. Anything else available to us right now? We have... who knows what. I will ping here. And it looks like it's a pretty quiet place with not too much available. Nothing to really settle down with, but here we are. So this is Asher with Starsector, Nuzlocke style. What have we learned? We have learned that everybody wants to kill us, but we can punch back. Maybe not against everybody, but so far I have managed to avoid death despite my best efforts. So that's one more episode than maybe I was expecting to survive, but... thanks again for watching. I'm only going to ask for this once during the series, but if you do like this or you do like any other Starsector content that you see, like it, please leave a comment on it. It does help YouTube prioritize showing Starsector videos to people who have not normally watched them or seen them, and since this game is not out on Steam yet, the more people that know about this game, the better. It's just like Street Countdown in a way. But you're welcome to join us on the Discord, discuss things that are coming, going, or near-death experiences. But I will take this as a successful first row in Hannah Kesslier's escape from the ghost of her past. And we haven't even gotten into some of the fun stuff with the haunted yet. So thanks for watching. We'll do this again soon. You all take care.